Hello, everyone. It's Tion Bacody, and I'm back with another Diamond KUT Media interview. Today, we have a special guest with us today. We're taking it global because, Diamond KUT Media, we're always expanding. We have MC Abdul with us today. MC Abdul, how you doing, man?
What up? What up? I'm doing good.
Yes, yes. It's good to have you on here, man. You got a new album on the way. Let the people know about what you're working on.
First of all, thank you for having me. Um, I'm working on my debut album right now. It's finished. It's gonna be out September 18th. I'm very excited. I've really put my heart, my soul, blood, sweat, and tears, and everything that I could describe basically into this album. And I'm super excited for people to listen to what I have to say and just understand this crazy journey that I've experienced in the last 2 to 3 years. And yeah, I'm very excited.
Right, and I got to listen to the album early, man. It sounds really good. And you got
Thank
some
you,
good
brother.
lyrics on there, good storytelling on there.
For sure.
Yes, sir. So let's get into it. Well, actually, before we get into it, we gotta let the people know. My boy told me he just came home from school. He's really putting in that grind right now. And the only reason
For
I bring
sure.
it up, I know if y'all watch some of my other interviews, I spoke on it myself that I'm a teacher. So it's just cool, people just grinding, making it happen.
Yeah, I just got back from school. I'm a senior now, so it's my first day as a senior. And here we are, we're doing this interview right now. So I'm trying to balance my time between school and like, you got this music stuff that's going on and like the interviews and everything.
Right, that's what's up. What's up? Okay, I'm not gonna take too much of your time. So let's get into it. So you've
All
been
good, man.
making
Take your
music.
time.
Yeah, of course, of course. So you've been making music since you were very young. Um,
hmm
how did you, fall in love with hip hop? And do you consider yourself a hip hop artist? Well, obviously your name is MC, so you consider yourself a hip hop artist?
Yeah, absolutely. I consider myself as a hip hop artist and how I fell in love with music in general and rap obviously was the genre for me. When I was like 7 years old, I remember that was like my earliest memories of him playing a lot of different kind of genres. Everyone around me growing up played Arabic music, but my dad like played some of the Western culture as well. So he played like rock, rap, and other genres as well, like a little bit of pop too. But for me, just I fell in love with hip hop, and I remember the first rap song that I've heard. It's an Eminem song, and it's called "Not Afraid." And I remember watching the music video, and towards the end of the music video, I think Eminem like flies, and I just always felt like he was a superhero to me, and he was one of the biggest inspirations for me as a artist and as a kid too, just watching and listening, not even understanding what these artists were saying, but I just felt like a connection on a deep level, and I've started to watch so many hip hop documentaries and just listen to so much music that was actually how I was able to learn English. And by the time I was 9 years old, turning 10, I was like, I want to try this out. And I remember just it took me months to memorize a verse because I'm rapping in a whole different language and like nobody really knows what hip hop is where I'm from, or maybe specifically Gaza. Everybody listens to Arabic music. You may find some people that listen to, hip hop or like, the Western culture. And I just kept on practicing and practicing and just like posting videos and documenting my life basically as this, young kid from Gaza that fell in love with hip hop. And, I just started rapping my favorite verses from my favorite artists, like I mentioned earlier, Eminem, Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z. And I was consistent. And a year later, a year and a half, I was signed to Empire. I was 11.
Wow, that's amazing, man. First off, I want to take my hat off and salute you for actually doing your homework on hip hop. Because a lot of artists, I've interviewed tons of artists, and they don't even know why they make music sometimes. But yeah, you really, did your thing, did your research, and then even you learning English through music, that's insane. Like, how did that like walk us through that a little bit? So like, yeah, walk us through that.
yeah, so I just listened to so much music growing up, and I didn't only listen to rap music. I was always listening to Coldplay or Imagine Dragon and uh so many different bands, even Linkin Park too. And I just, fell in love with it, and I was always like curious what they were talking about because like I connect with it, not even understanding the words. So I'm like, imagine if I understand the words. So, and once I started understanding the words, I was just always curious. Like, I want to express myself as well, and I want to talk about my life and the things that I go through. And that's how it really started for me. And I was just so curious, and I went and did my homework, trying to find out how this whole hip hop thing started. And, I really studied old school rappers first. And as I continued to get older, I wanted to understand, like, where the music industry is at right now. And, uh, yeah, I listened to Drake, J. Cole, um, everybody. I listened to everything basically.
Right. And I could tell, bro, that listen to that era of rap because like I said, I listened to your tape and for you to still be
Hmm.
in high school, like
Hmm.
if someone in high school tells you they make a tape, you're gonna expect like probably rage music or something, but nah, you really came with some good polished
Hmm.
tracks, man. Shout out to that.
For sure.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about a little bit your journey from Gaza. So, like, when you were in Gaza, you were performing like on some of the world's biggest stages. Like, when you look back at that time, like, how did some of those like looks come for you, and then how did that prepare you for now?
One thing that I've learned as I continue to grow older is that manifesting is real, and hard work does absolutely pay off. And I remember just being a little kid in Gaza, even during the 2021 genocide that happened. I remember uh, Kanye and J. Cole. I saw clips of them on Rolling Loud, which is one of the stages, one of the biggest hip hop festivals, if not the biggest. And I always felt like I'm gonna end up like on that stage one day. And I just started working hard, and I started from my bedroom. I didn't even have a microphone. I didn't even have any money to afford a microphone. So what I would do is I would turn on the TV, and I would imagine the TV remote control as my microphone, and I would get on top of my bed, and I would imagine, just I'm looking down on so many people and thousands of people when there was really nobody in the room, and that's just how it really started. So it's definitely a dream to come true to uh, go on a stage that's so big, and it definitely means the world to me to be having this opportunity to express my pain, my experiences, and just represent, my people, and just be able to inspire so many people, not just from where I'm from Gaza or Palestine or even the Middle East, just anybody from around the world that, you know, might be going through similar stuff,
Right, that's what's up, man. And I saw that like a lot of you went viral kind of at a young age freestyling in Gaza.
for sure.
Do you remember that time period, like how old you were, or some of those freestyles?
Yeah, I remember everything. And one of the freestyles, or actually the one freestyle that I posted on my Instagram where it went viral, and that's how I kind of got noticed by so many people, such as Fat Joe and like even Bella Hadid and just so many people. I posted a video of me rapping on the "See You Again" beat by Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth, and I was rapping like a little freestyle about Palestine and my life, and I felt like people connected with the video because it was just so simple, and I never needed like any equipment, like or any expensive like microphones, or to be able to reach so many people and many and millions of people from different parts of the world and be able to spread the message out. I was just recording from my dad's Android, and he was always very supportive. And the background was, just my classmates and my schoolmates are behind me. They don't understand what I'm saying, but they were they were there, like throughout the journey, and they always pop out with me.
That's what's up. So were you the only kid in your school speaking English?
I would say as fluent as I am, and like because I don't have an accent. Yes, I would say yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that speak English in Gaza, but just not at that level, I would say. I taught myself basically, yeah.
bro, that's super legendary, man. Super legendary. So you
Thank you,
talk,
brother.
yeah, of course. You spoke about manifestation a little bit earlier, and you performed at Rolling Loud. You worked with
Hmm.
people like Macklemore, tons of other people.
Hmm.
Even getting signed to Empire. Would you said
Hmm.
11 years old?
Yeah, I was 11.
That's crazy. Like, when did you realize, like, yo, this is really real? Like, what I manifested is starting to come true.
When I posted that video, my first video that went viral, that's when it really hit me because I've been doing it for like a year consistently of just like posting me rapping my own lyrics on some of the favorite songs. I would download the beat and write my own lyrics to my favorite songs, or even like rapping the same verse that Tupac rapped on his song, and just keep posting it. But when I really like took it serious, because it was more of like a hobby. I mean, I knew I was destined for this since day one, but when I really took it serious is, when I started getting so much attention from so many people, and just the love and um, the respect that I had from everybody. I was like, this is more of a responsibility now, and I can see that I can completely change my life and just be able to do something incredible with this, where I, you know, can change my family's life and just inspire so many people.
Okay, dope, dope. And your music, it always, it carries like a message, but I wouldn't say it's too heavy. Like it's like you can listen to it, it's enjoyable, but you still get the message in there. Like, how do you balance that? How
Yeah.
do you do that?
For me, I rap about my experiences. I don't feel any kind of pressure to rap about a certain thing. Whatever that I'm feeling in the moment, I just, have to let it out and I have to write it down. So whatever that I'm going through, whether if it's like, genocides from back home, or even finally getting my visa after 3.5 years of trying, and I finally made it to the United States after 3.5 years of trying, and just like my life completely changing the way that it did, obviously not knowing that it was going to change this way. And just life is crazy, man. Life is like a roller coaster, and anything could happen at any moment. So whatever life throws at me is just, I take it as a lesson, and I try to become a better person, a better artist. And yeah.
Okay, that's what's up, bro. And speaking of like your songs not being too heavy, your latest single, I should say, Sway Sway. Does
Hmm.
Sway Sway have a meaning?
Absolutely. I feel like every song that I put out has a deep message behind it. And the song Shui Shui, despite the deep meaning behind it, which I'm gonna get into right now, but it was my first time rapping on an Afro beat, and I was just experimenting in the studio, and I was, with a bunch of producers, and I was with Sohail, and you know, uh, a couple writers that I've worked with before, and people like that I trust to have in my circle. And yeah, I was just trying out different sounds, and I just wanted to, find or do something actually more like uplifting, to show that I can do multiple styles. And that's how Shway Shway, came about. And message wise, even though I grew up in Gaza all my life before I moved out here to the Bay Area, and all my life I've just went through so many harsh things that I felt like it took away from my childhood, and not just me but also hundreds of thousands of kids from Gaza, Palestine, and literally anywhere from around the world. So this song is really dedicated to the people and to the kids that unfortunately grew up in a tough environment where it didn't really allow them to live their childhood to the fullest.
Right, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And we spoke about it a little bit earlier in the beginning of the interview, but you're preparing to release your debut non-track album soon.
Yes.
For the people that's, looking forward to hearing this, want to know a little bit about it, how would you describe the sound and the overall feel of the album?
The album is called Day by Day, Shui Shui. And what that means is, obviously by the meaning is, day by day, which is how I take my life. I take it day by day. And just whatever life, throws at me, I always take it as a lesson, and I always stay humble no matter what, success I get, or no matter how, cool people, how many, cool people DM me. I just still, the goal is always to um spread a powerful message that could help people. But sonically, I wanted to try different stuff with this album because I've put out already one project. I've only put out one project throughout my whole career, and it's called "Can I Live?" And it only specifically talks about my experiences in Palestine because that's really all I've known. And it was like more like that boom bap style. But now, like, I'm rapping on different type of beats, and just trying to explore. And I locked myself in the studio and wanted to try many different stuff to show people that I can do, like, different styles, like, for example, like shui shui.
Right, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And I'm
Hmm.
gonna sound like a unk here, but hip hop has always been built around like storytelling and
Hmm.
speaking truth is something you do. What do you feel
Hmm.
like your generation or this new generation of hip hop, what do you feel needs to be talked about more? Or like how do we get storytelling back in hip hop? I personally believe that's something that's missing.
I think anybody could talk about whatever that they want. I feel like everybody should be authentic, not feeling like they have to, copy a certain sound just because it's like trending or whatever. I just feel like everybody has to follow, their gut feeling, and whatever they want to try to just go for it. And just tell their life stories, or let's say if there's something going on in, different parts of the world where they feel like it kind of clicked with them somewhat, they can also talk about that as well. But the idea of my album, going back to the question before, also is that, no matter what we go through as people, we always remain hopeful. And at the end of the day, we're um what is this one bar that I say on my song? It's called Zanana. Um, I say we're fighting to live, not living to fight shit. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss or not, but that's the bar. And
How you good, bro?
um, I'm just trying to say that, at the end of the day, we're people, and we always find a way to enjoy life no matter how hard circumstances can get, because we want to live too, and we're people too, and we're human.
Okay, dope, dope. And you are a little bit, well, not a little bit, you are kind of younger than me. Like, is there anyone besides yourself? Like who you listen to? Who's popping right now? Would you say, like, besides yourself?
Like people that are my age, you're
Or
saying?
just like generally, like I would say someone around your age. What are y'all listening to right now? Besides, yourself. Or what is on your daily playlist besides yourself?
I feel like I listen to a lot of mainstream stuff. And growing up, I haven't really listened to a lot of Arabic music. Like me personally, putting it on, as crazy as it sounds, because I've grew up in Gaza all my life, and I've grew up around people that play it. But I feel like now I just really want to understand, you know, just Arabic songs more. And I've been finding myself listening to that too. Uh, I listen to all kinds of stuff, man. Like even the rage rap too. Like I don't really like discriminate about nothing. I just try to take inspiration from anything and everything. But my personal top three, top five right now, obviously I would put Ye, Drake, Cole, Future, and Tory.
Okay,
Those are
nice.
the people that I find myself listening to the most these days. But it
Solid
always
top five.
changes,
Solid top five. Solid top five.
for sure.
All right. So when people do finish listening to your album, what do you want them to understand about yourself that maybe they haven't understood before?
I really want people to understand how hard this journey has been so far, and how the last 2 to 3 years of my life completely changed everything for me. I've been working on my visa to come here to the United States for almost 3.5 years. And, since I got signed to Empire, actually, and I was manifesting every single day to finally fly out here, make it out of Gaza, and, do as many shows as I can, because that was originally the plan. It was me and my dad that came out here because obviously I'm young and I can't travel by myself. So me and him came out here. We were expecting to stay out here for a month and a half because the day that I landed here was September 7th, 2023, which was exactly a month before the genocide. It started on October 7th, 2023. And since that moment, everything has changed. And I felt like the goal went from, making music to try getting my family out before, anything bad happens. And during the process of me trying to get them out, I lost so many people. I lost 81 people all in one day. I don't think a lot of people know about this, but this is exactly why I make music about it. And I feel like it would be a lot more powerful to speak about things like that through the music. And I lost my grandma, and she's obviously a big part of my life. And I remember the day that I left Gaza, as soon as I was getting on the bus, she gave me prayer beats, and she actually gave me two of them, but I lost one of them. But I still have that one that I still have, and I keep it with me, and I always take it to the studio, and it's like to keep her spirit with me. And that's just what this album basically talks about, finally moving to the Bay Area. And even the cool things that I actually got to experience before the genocide started, because I was staying out here for a month where everything was all good. I was, invited to so many studio sessions, working with so many dope artists. And I even met, Snoop Dogg, and I met my sister Bella Hadid for the first time. And I we did the music video for Mustafa the poet, for his song called Gaza's Calling. And I think that was my first acting experience, and it was really dope. I had fun throughout every single second of it, because a lot of people don't know this, but when I started, not only I was able actually to learn English through music and watching hip hop documentaries, but I would always watch like some TV shows or whatever clips I can find online. Like for example, like Young Sheldon, and me and my little brother would actually uh, set up a camera and try to reenact them. So
All right, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. But yeah, man. Sorry about your loss too, man. But it's good
yeah,
that you get to release some of that through the music. And then
yeah.
yeah, let that noisy truck go by. Okay. And for the last question, man. Finally, your debut album, Day by Day, is coming out. Shout out to that. As you enter this next chapter, this next phase of your life, what do you think
Mhm.
the future holds for you, or what are you manifesting next? You don't have to share everything because I know some things are personal, but what's next?
I feel like I don't want to look into the future too much, and that's something that I had to tell myself. Because if you focus on something, you know, like if you're focused on the future too much, then I feel like you might be missing out on a lot of the things that are happening in the moment right now. And I obviously have dreams, I have goals, and one of them is just to obviously keep making music and just keep talking about what I feel. And I can't wait to keep putting out more projects, and more music for the people, more acting opportunities, absolutely. And yeah, I'm very excited for what the future holds. I'm ready for whatever that comes.
Okay, dope. You definitely have a bright future ahead, bro. But yeah,
Thank you,
man,
bro.
that was a dope interview, dope conversation. Let the people
Thank you.
know. We have your at name right here in the corner. It's very small, but let the people know where they can follow you on
hmm
IG. Stream your music. Check out.
hmm
Just find everything out about you.
MC Abdul. You can find my music on all platforms, and my Instagram is mca.rap.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And guys, y'all gotta check out. Be on the lookout for this Day by Day album. I'm telling you, it's a good listen. Upcoming rapper MC Abdul.
Mm. Thank you, brother. I really enjoyed this. If you got any more questions, I'm since we're here, I really enjoyed this. But yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course, of course. The people, I think the people gonna like this one, man.
For sure.
All right. But